Hey everyone, how's it going? We got a special delivery today. My favorite navigation systems for the Cafe Racer. Um, the Beeline Moto 2 is an update to their original Moto, and they're back with some refinement and upgrades. It's very cool stuff. So I got a whole kit that they sent me here. Um, the new Moto 2, it's the metal edition. It's the dark gunmetal, I guess, would be their new one. I think they have a silver version and the black plastic version. Um, but yeah, the new Moto 2 is noticeably bigger, and it's got, you know, these kind of buttons all around as you press or depress this against the backing. It makes it pretty easy to go ahead and cycle around the different buttons, especially with the with gloves on. It's definitely much easier to go ahead and select everything, especially once it's in the mount. It feels pretty solid and everything. Um, but I wanted to go ahead and give you guys kind of a introduction to the new Moto 2 and some of the accessories that they have with it, um, and a little bit of information. Not particularly an expert on everything that it has. They did add a ton of stuff into this. As you can see on the box here, it'll show a bit of the new things that they have. It's IP67, water resistant, has anti-glare display, USB-C, so now I can charge it with my phone, drone, whatever I'm using when I'm on the go or whatnot. It's got speedo mode, like a compass mode, a clock, and all that. 14 plus hour battery life. It has these new alert LEDs up here and sound. Has some kind of beeps and whatnot to notify you, as well as the visual light indicators here. The app has a lot more power too now. GPX import has some like fast and fun mode, some distraction free, turn by turn navigation. The map seems to be a little bit more expanded with the Moto 2. A lot of stuff, a ton of features. You definitely go check out their website and look at all the different stuff that they have. I've been using the original Moto for few years now, and it's been great, and I'm pretty sure this is going to treat me just as well. So a couple things that I opted for. I do like the original mount, which is just this kind of like rubber band system that goes around the bars. And the reason I like this was I could go to shows and easily remove this within 20 seconds. Take these off, put it in the case, put the Moto in the case, and then the bars are free and clear. Everything's nice and clean, and that made it really easy. And I'll still probably use this if I go to shows, which I don't really show the bike much anymore, like I did in the beginning. But I also opted this time around to go with the a little more semi-permanent bar clamp mount. This is nice metal anodized. It has these clips that you can screw in. Has two Allen keys here. The first Allen key holds in the mounting system, this plastic piece that the Moto 2 locks into. And then with all these accessories, I believe they sell the different clips to attach the original Moto as well. So you can set the way it locks in is a little different, and you can set the original Moto in here as well with just a different clip. And by unscrewing this, take this out here, and there's another screw in here, and this screw undoes the clamp so that you can set it onto the bars and whatnot. Take that out. This opens up, and your bushing sits in there. And they supply a different set of bushings for all the different bar types. I believe like 1 inch, 7/8 or 22 millimeters are going to be your pretty much standard for the motorcycle. Although they have some probably fat bar ones here that will fit some of the other bigger options and everything. But I'll mainly be using this one on the Cafe Racer. So this goes back in here, and that'll mount to the bars. And the way that I'm going to be using it, I also opted to get the 12-volt powered mount insert. And like I said, you can swap these different inserts out for whatever. With the powered insert, it kind of has some locking tabs here around the edge, and inside the bar mount it has the locking mechanism for that. So this stays nice and tight in here. I don't know exactly how I'll attach it yet for my bars, but I think right in the middle would probably be where I'd want to go. And it comes with a couple different screws for different mounts that they have and things. I just screw this guy right in here. And that locks into the bar clamp. Moto 2 pops right in there. And now you have a powered Moto 2 for multi-day, all-day riding. It says it has 14 hours of battery life. That's probably more than enough for me in a day. And charge this at night. But we'll see how the powered insert works. It's pretty nice. And I think, as mentioned, I got the Beeline carrying case here to clip on and hold this. Like I said, while I'm either at shows or walking around, I don't want anybody to snag it off the bars if I gotta leave the bike somewhere or anything. But I'm gonna install this, and I'll do some video and show you guys part of the install process of hooking this piece up to the battery. It's got its fuse here, and it runs into what looks like a battery tender. I'm hoping that these are the same thing, so I can kind of do double duty with this and unplug the Moto 2, plug in the battery tender when I have the bike in the garage. So we'll slide this under the tank, get this mounted to the bars, and show you what that looks like. Alright guys, I'm out in the garage, and we're going to install this 12-volt powered mount insert. I did confirm that the powered mount insert connects to a battery tender, and we'll do kind of double duty here to plug in and charge the bike while it's here in the garage. The first thing we need to do is remove the short battery tender cable, and we'll run the powered mount insert long cable up to the front of the bike. So when we mount the bar mount, we can just put that in and plug it in right up front there. And I'll also plug in the charger at the front of the bike now too. But let's go ahead and get started. We got to remove the toolkit and put it behind it so we can get to the battery and stuff. Just undo these 3 bolts. This is for a 2020 Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. But all bikes should be fairly similar. Go ahead and pretty much get access to the battery terminals and pop these on. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove the battery, basically slide it out towards me to be able to get to these terminals here, get these off and get the new ones on. Next up, we'll go ahead and remove the tie-down bracket for the battery. Now we can just go ahead and slide the battery out of here. Never get it. And we can expose the battery terminals. Okay, now that we have access to the battery, I gotta get access to the negative terminal, so I'll go ahead and remove the seat, place that in a safe location. Okay, and we'll go ahead and remove this negative terminal first. That way we can cut off power and not electrocute ourselves. Then we can go ahead and get the positive terminal. And remove the old battery tender cable. Now with the new cable from the Beeline Moto 2 powered insert, go ahead and reinstall this in the opposite way. Get the positive terminal back in here. It was a bit tough to get to the negative terminal from the other side, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this panel. Now we can move this locking pin or locking nut up and get the negative terminal back in and tighten down. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do a little test run here. Make sure that this guy powers up and charges. And there we go. We have charging of the device from the battery. Disconnect that guy. That's good. Now that I've verified that the device is charging, I'm going to go ahead and run these cables up along the path to go up and through the tank. So I'm going to follow this main line under the tank and bring it out by the headlight here. I'll leave a little loop in here for the fuse so that I can access that in case we have any issues. So I'll go ahead and start getting this battery bolted back down since we've connected the terminals here. Now we can go and reinstall the toolkit tray here. I'm also going to lift the tank up a little bit and see if I can get my hand under there to bring that line down. I was able to lift the tank up just enough to get my hand under this whole side and slide the cable all the way up to the front of the bike. And now I can bolt the tank back down and continue at the front of the bike, tidying things up. I zip tied some of the cable here just to keep it clean and tucked away, and zip tied some of it to the front to the main harness that runs up to the headlight. So go ahead and get these tank bolts back in. So now I have 12 volt through the battery tender connector up to the front of the bike. We'll mount the Beeline Moto mount here so we can plug in down here, and this also has enough slack for the handlebars to turn and enough slack down here to connect to the charger when I'm at home. So I've got the Beeline Moto mount all unhooked here, and we'll go ahead and pop this guy around the bars. Right here in the center. I've got my solid install clamp. Make sure it's nice and tight on there. Tighten it down. Now we'll go ahead and put in the connector, the 12 volt power supply for the Beeline. Okay. We'll plug this guy into the power source. Right here, and I'll tuck that away down under the headlight over here. Go right here. Tuck that guy right there. And the last piece of the puzzle, we'll go ahead and put the Moto 2 on. See it charging. And we're good to go. Now we have the Beeline Moto 2 fully installed with the 12 volt power mount. It runs back to the battery and connects through here through a battery tender style mount, and this will give me power while I'm riding, and that's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. You can check out the link in my bio on my website and get yourself a Moto too. And take care. Ride safe.